G'day everyone, Jackson here. Welcome back to the Daily Endeavours for the 19th of February. Before I start, there is going to be a maintenance today from when this video comes out, probably in a few hours. So it's going to be 4 AM Eastern Standard Time, and that means that the servers will go down before the North American reset. So you guys are unfortunately going to have to wait until after the maintenance is over in order to do any of the dailies today. And it's going to be hopefully 8 hours. We know how ZeniMax can be though. It could take 12, 20 hours for all we fucking know at this point. So yeah, it's not too big of a problem though. It's only 10 seals, so yeah, I wouldn't stress too much about it. And it's an easy set, so you can do it in a very quick amount of time. So we've got 10 seals, vampires, collecting runestones, enchanting equipment, completing a Consumables master Writ, and capturing a keep in Cyrodiil. To scratch this one, for 10 seals, I think this one's too unreliable compared to these ones here. Knowing my luck in PvP, I could probably do all 4 of these in the amount of time that it takes to actually capture a keep, and likely a lot longer than that. So yeah, I don't think do these ones here. They're all so much easier. Right, so we'll start with the Consumables master Writ. Now I can't actually do this on EU because none of my characters are Alchemy 50 or Provisioning 50. So, and I can't show you how to do this on NA because the dailies are going to reset after the maintenance starts. So yeah, I'm kind of boned with this one. I can't actually do it, and I imagine that's going to be a problem for some other people too, because you need to have either alchemy or provisioning level 50. Now, enchanting counts as a durables master Writ, even though you consume glyphs to put them on armor. I'm not entirely sure why they decide to make it durables, but nothing that we can do about that. So only alchemy and provisioning counts. Now, as far as which one to choose, it depends on what you've got available. So, consumables, you go down to master Writ, and you can type in provis, and the provisioning ones will show up, and then just type in alch for the alchemy ones. Now, as far as this goes, you've got a choice, I think. Both are viable, but sealed provisioning writs, you need to have the recipe unlocked. But if you have the recipe unlocked, it's generally cheaper buying and using the writs than the alchemy writs, because the alchemy writs, you don't need the recipe. So no matter where you are, as long as you're alchemy level 50 and you've got the passive for alchemy that lets you do sovereign proficiency 8, which allows you to make the max level poisons and potions. Same thing with provisioning. You need to have provisioning a bit worse. You need to have 6 out of 6, and likely you'll also have to have a bit of recipe quality as well. And you're also going to want to have these too, because same thing with alchemy. You're going to want chemistry to produce more potions of poisons per attempt, because it's cheaper that way. Same thing with provisioning. You want chef and you want brewer. So you need a couple of things in order for this to be super viable. But TLDR, alchemy, you can make any of these recipes, but they'll be more expensive. And then provisioning, you need the recipes, but generally it'll cost a lot less. So this one here, yeah, it's a bit weird. 49,000 for that. I mean, it's Citric Ambrosia, but still. Alright, so here you could get, Sench Tiger single malt. It's only 4k. Well, I mean, 4k is a lot for a fucking 10 seal. But you could do that one. It's not that difficult to, like, you can find a recipe somewhere. It'll cost a bit more, or you can have the recipe yourself. And yeah, you look at the recipes, wheat, bitter green, coffee, they're all like, you can get them relatively easily. Same with Verveil's juice, stuff like that. It's just, I find that compared to the alchemy ones, like things like this, violet coperness is expensive. All that stuff there is like way more expensive than any of the provisioning ones you're going to use. So yeah, it just depends. If you can avoid using alchemy ones, use provisioning ones, but if you don't have any recipes, you can just stick with an alchemy one. Now, why would you bother doing this one, even though it's so expensive? Just time. It's very quick to do these. Like, if you have one in your inventory, I've got a couple of the durables master writs. If you do provisioning or alchemy writs, you will occasionally get sealed writs for doing those. So you might have a couple lying around if you do those, and just check in that case and see if you can do one of those and not have to pay the extra for that. But doing this is very quick. All you have to do is locate the alchemy station. The alchemy station in Deshawn is right here, for example. Just here, and then there's a cooking fire in this inn here. I think there's another one around here somewhere. I'm not certain. But yeah, everything's relatively close, and then the guy to hand in the Master Writs to is right here, Rolla Slalu. So getting Master Writs done is yeah, it's very easy. Well, not easy, but it's fast. It's super quick. It's probably like a few minutes. The only other one I think that's a few minutes long will be these ones, depending on how close you are to the vampires, but I'll go through those as well. Alright, so next up I'll just talk quickly about enchanting equipment. Now I think it's wise to actually go to Oridon here. The only reason for this is to get a free weapon to put the enchants on. Because when you do this, the enchants you use are probably not going to be very powerful, so you don't want to enchant over your current gear, because the enchants are going to be shit. And with your proper gear, you kind of want stuff that's better. Alright, so I usually come here to the Crystal Vial. I go inside, and I go upstairs, and there'll be a couple of Inferno staves that you can steal up here. So what I usually do is I wait for her to be turned around, I just grab one, and then I go downstairs, talk to the Enchanter. You can also do this in the Imperial City, and you don't have to, like, everything's not stolen, you can just take it off the walls. And there's a Enchanter in there too that you can talk to. So you can do it there, but this is one you can do at level 3, I suppose. So Enchanter, so go down, find these here, you want these glyphs. Now, if you have a level 3 character, I would advise going to them and buying them, and looting a level 3, level 1 or whatever item upstairs, because the glyphs that you buy will be a lot cheaper, so you'll spend less gold doing this one. But it's still very quick, and monumental glyphs, they don't cost too much. It's like nearly 1,000 gold to buy 3. So what you want to do is buy 2 different ones. So I'll buy 2 Frost, and then I'll buy 1 Flame, and I'll show you what I mean. So I've got this Inferno Staff here. If I enchant it with Frost, and I try and enchant it again, the Frost one doesn't appear now. So you want to buy a different one, because you can't enchant the same glyph over a current glyph. So you can't enchant Frost with Frost. So you've got to go Flame, and then when we enchant it, it'll now be Frost. So just keep that in mind. That might derail your ability to do this one quickly. And obviously, you can just create your own glyphs. You only need, like, even on a CP 140 item, you just need level 1 stuff. So all you need is a Future Jota. You just need a couple of green runes for weapon glyphs, or whatever item that you take, like an armor piece or if you've got a jewelry piece. But yeah, whatever you need. So usually Decapa's quite cheap, Mape's quite cheap, Koako's not too bad, Haoko, Deteri. Basically anything that isn't Flame and Oak, and the 3 Writ glyphs, Writ runes, Oko, Mako, and Denny. These 3 are quite expensive because they're using Writs a lot. Okori is pretty good. I also don't use Hakejo because those are fucking ridiculously expensive too. But yeah, most stuff's usually pretty good. So yeah, all you need is some Jota, because Tar is actually more expensive than Jota, so to do with Writs, it's a bit weird. You need the blue runes, which you can get in infinite quantities from enchanters. So you just need either Jode or Jorah, whichever one you want to use to make certain glyphs. And then you need the green runes. The green runes will be the ones you probably have to run around a bit for. But if you want to wait for this one, it might actually be wise, because one of the other endeavors today is Runestones for 5 nodes. So you're going to get some Runestones anyway. So it actually kind of works quite well. I would say, if you can do this one, do these 2 and vampires, because that'll be quicker. But if you don't have access to this, just do Runestones instead, and use the Runestones to enchant some equipment, because you can do that too. Alright, so next up, I'll talk about vampires. Just keep in mind, while you do vampires, also look around for Runestones too while you do them, because you might see a few of these lying around. So just a quick explanation. They have like an orange tint near them, and they're just like a little A looking shape. Just look around for something that glows orange and has like a little flame in it. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see them. They're kind of hard to miss. But yeah, vampires first. So all you need to do for this one is there's a couple of places. So if you have access to Cold Harbor, I think this is best. But if you don't have access to Cold Harbor, Rivenspire is probably going to be your best bet. This is another place where you just take the Boatswain. In this case, you take it from Glanumbra, Daggerfall. Just go here to Azufa, as we always do. She'll take you to Stormhaven. When you get to Stormhaven, take it to Rivenspire. You'll rock up here. Now, there's a couple of ways you can go from here. Fuck's sake, why do I always do that? So you'll rock up here, and there's a couple of places you can go. Crest Shade has a ton of Blood Fiends. You've got some Montclair Vampires down here. You've got Moira's Hope, which has Montclair Vampires and Blood Fiends in it. And I believe the city... yeah, I wouldn't really suggest that because it's only for the quest. Apart from that, that's all the... I think there's a few vampires here too in Hainault Farm. I'm not certain though. I think it's just quest related though. But yeah, so most of Rivenspire's like central, south, and western side around here, you'll find a bunch of vampires. Now the other places to go, sorry, as I said, Cold Harbor, you've got the Orchid. This place is full of vampires. If you complete the quest, you can make them docile, which is kind of helpful if you're trying to go around and you rock up to a harvester, because these harvesters, they don't actually count as vampires, so you just want these Blood Fiends here instead. So kill these guys. These guys count as vampires, as you can see. Oh, I'm lagging, apparently. And yeah, there'll be people here, but there's a lot of vampires to go around, and you know, if it's not really busy, then you should be able to find a couple of vampires. There's only 5, so people won't need to kill many, which is good. So yeah, just run around this place having a look. You'll probably find some. And there's one more place in Cold Harbor you can use, and that is the Black Forge. There's also some vampires in here. Usually, if the Orchid is too full of people, you can try the Black Forge, because the Black Forge's first room has a ton of vampires too. It's just a bit of a trek to get there. Now, I will point out... Sorry about the burp. Weird. So, Dolmens as well. Dolmens can have... Or Dark Anchors, they can have vampires too. But it's a complete roll of the dice. Sometimes you might just get vampires. Sometimes you won't get any vampires for ages. It's just a complete RNG fest. I wouldn't rely on it just because of that reason. You don't know if you're going to get vampires or not. Also, Infinite Archive, I'm pretty certain... I don't see vampires in there either. Maybe... actually, you know what? No. Infinite Archive, you might get the Relic Fiends, which count as Blood Fiends. I should go through the Spell Fiends too. I forgot about those. I'll go through those too. I just want to show you that this area works. I don't want to kill all of them, because then I won't be able to show you that the Spell Fiends work. Is there a place with just one vampire? There's 2 there. I suppose you'll do nicely. You can also feed on vampires as a vampire, by the way. It's kind of funny. Alright, yeah, okay, cool. So, Spellscar and Elenir. These 2 places have Spell Fiends in them. There's also other places, but these are going to be kind of the main areas that you find them. So, all over Spellscar, there are Spell Fiends fucking everywhere, and in Elenir there's a few too. I just want to show you that these work, because they do. They count as vampires, because they share the... I think they share like the like enemy file, like model files of the Blood Fiends from Rivenspire. They're exactly the same. They just like kind of have a different skin. I think that's the only real difference. But they act exactly the same. They do the same attacks. They have the same animations. Yeah, they just look a bit different. So we won't find any immediately. These people aren't vampires technically, so you don't want to bother with them. I wouldn't really suggest here for where to get your Blood Fiends, your Spell Fiends, sorry. I would definitely recommend Spellscar, because there's way more over there. But just to show you, there's the Spell Fiends over here. As you can see, there's a big mob here. Just killing this mob here would be more than enough to get your endeavor done. So I'll just kill these ones here, and as you can see, boom, vampires. There you go. I don't know what the fuck this one's doing. Interesting. Okay. They're coming back though. So yeah, Spell Fiends work too, which is great. So if all those other places are just like ridiculously busy, okay, yeah, lagging. Yeah, if oh, look at that. While we're here, we'll talk about the next one. So yeah, if those places are busy, definitely try Spellscar, because there's so fucking many Spell Fiends that usually more will spawn by the time you like need to look around for more. All right. This is what a runestone looks like, so this is what you're looking for. So, these things can be found all over every zone in the game, basically, that isn't like a dungeon. And even in dungeons, I think some of them can like rarely have runestones in them. So you can see what I mean, this like orange glow, you can just see it from really far away. So runestones, when you collect them, you'll get mundane runes, which you can sell for a ton. 300 gold each, they're pretty damn good. They used to be a lot more, but yeah, they're still pretty decent. You'll always get a green and a like a circle rune, and then sometimes you get a blue. The blue doesn't really matter because you can buy those from any of the enchanters. Like every single blue one, an infinite source, so you only need these two. These are the two that matter. So you get a couple of these. As you can see, this is a Corey. This is the weapon power one, so that's really good for just making a weapon enchant to put on our Nightwood staff that we had before. So all you'd use there is like... I'll explain when I get there, just to show you. Alright, so now we got to look for more. There won't really be any in this place because this is like a hostile area. But you can actually find some in here, if you know where to look. Alright, so if you're on PC, there's an add-on you can get. Sorry, bloody forgotten. Harvest map. This one here. Every time you collect a runestone, it will mark it on the map for you. And there's filters you can go through. So we've got clothing, solvents, shows up now. So if you're kind of on a warpath to try and find some more runestones to do this, you can use this method. It requires a bit of setup because you need to have found the runes to begin with. But if you play the game for a while, you'll start to rack up the runestones, and you can get this one done more reliably. Now, it is worth noting that in Craglorn, usually this is the best place to get all your resources, and in this case, yeah. So you can see there's one there, and there's another one in the distance. I'll take the HUD away, and you see what I mean. You can just see the orange mark of the runestones from really far away. Like, I'll see how far away you can actually see this. So I'll go all the way over here. Okay, so it's despawned. If it is in render range, you can basically see it from... Yeah, so they're not difficult to spot once you know what you're looking for. And they all look like this. It used to be that there used to be three. There used to be green ones, blue ones, and these red ones. And they used to have different things. But years ago, they decided to just make them all in one. And yeah, so it's a lot better now. So yeah. I completely forgot what I was talking about before. Oh yeah, Craglorn. So this is normally the place to collect everything, because you get fortified gnome crocs from a lot of the stuff that you can collect out here, but runestones don't give you gnome crocs. So keep that in mind. If you're doing this looking for gnome crocs, you want to get this stuff like the platinum seam and the ancestor silk and stuff like that. The runestones themselves will not give you any gnome crocs. Just keep that in mind. There's some ancestor silk there too. So we got a blue rune there as well. So I think it's like it's either a 33 or 66% chance to get a blue rune in each one. I'm pretty sure it's 33%, but I'm not sure. So yeah, just keep looking around, and yeah, again, see this from far away. The orange tint is just hard to miss. There you go, we're done. Collect the platinum seam too while we're here. So yeah, look for the orange tint. Get Harvest Map if you're on PC, because it'll help you in the long run for when you need to find these things again. And yeah, if you're willing to spend a lot of gold and do this one super quick, you can get another one of these done. So yeah, if you need to craft some glyphs, so you just need a blue one, green one, so we'll just use the Corey that we picked up, and then I haven't got any green, but you'd use green because they're just cheaper than... I mean, you can use any of this stuff, but green and blue are cheaper than the other options. So in this case, we just make a... this would be one... The hell? Okay. Yeah, so truly superb. So you can put that on a max level item, and just, yeah, enchant over the top of it, but I've got a gold one there, so I don't want to use that. So yeah, that's how you do it. And once again, you'd get your blue runes from the enchanters, and you'd collect these two, like, guaranteed from any of those runestones that you find. So yeah, just use whatever you get, and that'll be your daily done, basically. So that's a free way to do this as well. Well, free you might have to buy a couple of blue runes, but not much. The Jorah and Jode ones are like super cheap. Okay, if you have any other questions about any of this stuff, just let me know. As always, that's Daily's concluded. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time, and take care.